Hello, everybody. I am just hopping back on because I want to make a correction to something I said in the live video yesterday. But before I do that, if you are new to this channel, you might be like, who is this? My name is Asha. And as you all know, Nikita makes videos around narcissism, manipulation tactics, and her time in a cult. Well, I was in that cult with her, and a lot of times I'll join her for a live video where we will discuss some of the updates or behaviors, reacting to some of the lessons that happen in this family of cults that we were a part of. Why do we do that? Because we want to expose them. We want other people to not go through what we went through. We don't want you joining a cult. We don't want you having to learn the hard way like we did about, the damage a cult can do to your life and to your psyche, and how it is just like it can be this lifelong thing that you have to heal from. You don't have to. We went through it, so you don't have to, okay? So we like to share about the things that were done and the tactics that they use and the methods they employ to rob people of their authenticity. So anyway, yesterday we went live because something happened in this family of cults. And so I'm going to do a brief timeline if you have no idea what I'm talking about, okay? So there is this guy, his name is Kip McKean. He was a part of the Church of Christ. I think a lot of people, primarily in America, have heard of the Church of Christ. You might be driving down the street and you'll see a church called the Church of Christ. Well, he was a part of that church, and he decided, you know what? Y'all are not radical enough. You guys are not going hard enough for the Lord. So I'm going to create my own branch of this church. And it initially was something called the Boston movement, because that's where it occurred. And then he ultimately called it the International Church of Christ. Now, just like a lot of religious fanatics and, egomaniacs and charismatic leaders, there's usually more of a desire for power than to actually help people. And in my opinion, that's absolutely what is happening with this man. So because of that, a lot of times they get exposed. We've seen it everywhere, right? Church leaders always getting exposed for harmful behavior. So this is what happened with him in ICOC, and he was asked to take a sabbatical, take a step back, step down off the stage. And he said, okay, for 5 minutes, and then was like, no, I can't. And so he decided that we all were no longer Christians. This was specifically the branch of the cult family that me and Nikita were a part of. So he decided everybody here were no longer Christians, and he started another movement. This time it was the sold out movement. Like, we are really sold out. We really follow Jesus. And that ultimately became the ICC, the International Christian Churches. And because there wasn't a lot of self-reflection, in my opinion, with Kip, once again, he was exposed. He was exposed and told to retire, not necessarily a sabbatical, but to actually retire. And we talked about this. This happened this past April 2024. And of course, me and Nikita went live about that because that's a big deal in our family of cults. And as predicted in that live, we were like, he is not going to take this lying down. No, I can't see it. And we were all, guessing what the new name of the new church or KIP movement would be. So that was in April. He was told to retire. In September, he was actually told, hey, we need to go beyond retirement. We're going to disfellowship you. We're going to kick you out of the church completely. You need therapy, Kip. And in order to come back to church, you have to go through the restoration studies. You have to be restored to our fellowship. Well, that happened a couple weeks ago. And then this week, we heard about a new movement. Now, this movement has been shared by particular leaders in the ICC, and they swear up and down that Kip doesn't even know about this. But come on, come on. He gets kicked out, and then a couple weeks later is a brand new movement. Yeah, we don't buy it. In our opinion, we do not buy it. We think he has everything to do with this. But anyway, these people released a 33 to 34 page letter explaining how the ICC is so corrupt, and that's why they had to start a new movement. And they don't like the way the ICC handled things with Kip, but Kip has nothing to do with it, you know. And so, like I said, this is what the live was about. We were talking about this new movement and everything that's being shared. Please go watch it. It is, it was a really good discussion. Okay. In my opinion, it was good. Go watch it. All right. And so, like I said, this is a very abbreviated intro or to our family of cults and what's going on and what our live was about. But I do want to highlight this YouTube channel. So this is a channel called Reveal, and it's started by Chris Lee. He and Michael Potts decades ago started a website because they were members a long time ago of one of Kip's first movements. And they learned a lot. They learned through experience, and they created a website to share about their experience, to share about what's wrong with the doctrine of this church. And they go into extreme detail about the history of this church and the different things that have occurred with Kip McKean. So if you want a deeper dive into these cults, please go to this YouTube channel. They have done the work. And then you can see over here in this video that there's a history, very detailed history of these family of cults. So go check them out. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's a new church starting, and we revealed the name in the live the other day, but I'll go ahead and tell you here as well because we had our big reveal yesterday. But I mentioned that Kip McKean was disfellowshipped and told that he had to be restored in order to come back. So do you want to know the name of the new church that has been started? You ready? It is called the Restored Church. The Restored Church. And since Kip apparently has nothing to do with this new movement has been primarily shared by these two guys, Jason Demetri and Mike Patterson. These are two guys who are at the tippy top of the pyramid that is this family of cults, specifically the ICC. And they are two guys who are very close to Kip McKean. So anyway, they've been sharing about this new movement. So of course, in our live the other day, I was sharing the post of these two guys. So here's my correction. You're like, where's the correction, Asha? I was sharing posts from these two guys, and then I was also sharing, comments under these posts. Comments that I thought were really brave, that were really trying to point out the truth and really get these guys to acknowledge some of their harmful behaviors. And I realized that I began to talk as if these posts were under Mike Patterson's. These comments, were under Mike Patterson's post. I think I believed that they were because I just was going through and screenshotting. And I think in my head, Mike and Jason are the same person, essentially. And I just was like, yeah, these are the comments under Mike's post. And I think one of the reasons I really thought that too is because when I looked back over the comments I screenshot, a person was specifically calling out Mike Patterson in one of their comments. However, these comments were under Jason Demetri's post. Now, I don't think it makes that big of a difference, right? I think these people probably feel the same toward both of them. As you can see, one person literally does call out Mike as well under Jason's post. But why does it matter? It matters because somebody said in the live yesterday, hey, I'm under Mike's, I'm in Mike's Facebook account and I don't see these comments, he probably deleted them. And since Mike has deleted comments of mine and has blocked me, I was like, yeah, he probably did. He probably did delete it. I don't put it past him. He blocked me. He doesn't like comments that don't agree with him, blah, blah, blah. And I do believe that, but that just wasn't the case here. These comments were not deleted because they weren't under Mike's. These comments weren't deleted because they weren't under Mike's post. They were under Jason's post. So, FYI, Mike hasn't deleted these comments and Jason hasn't deleted these comments. But are they still dangling in the air without an empathetic response? Yes. As of late last night, there was still no response. But they haven't been deleted. So I just wanted to clarify that. Not trying to mislead anybody. I just kind of forgot. So sorry about that, y'all. So something that I wanted to update y'all about. In this 34-page letter, they said that you can get recent updates by going to faiththefacts.com, which in the live Nikita went to, and that website doesn't exist. And so we were like, what? Okay, whatever. But on Jason Dimitri's post, he has a link to this Faith the Facts page. And it's not a website, it is a newsletter. It's a page that is within paragraph.xyz. So from what I understand, paragraph XYZ is a website where you can create a free newsletter. Kind of like how on WordPress you can create a blog. So they created a Faith the Facts newsletter within paragraph.xyz. So as of now, faiththefacts.com doesn't exist. Maybe it will in the future. But hey, if you want to get live updates to what they're doing with the new Restored Church worldwide, baby, you can go to Jason Dimitri's page. It's public, it's open, because these are public figures. That's why I don't hide their names, right? And you can go here and click on this link, all right? And so, you know what? There's another update. Somebody pointed out to Nikita that if you look at this 34-page document, and you look at the names of the people who have signed this document, there's like 6 pages of signatures at the end. Majority of these people, and again, this is a public document too. I'm not sharing anything that's privated. If you look at the names on this document, majority of these people are all from LA, which we know that LA is Kip's stomping grounds, right? That's where he lives. That is, his family of churches, and the people there are the ones who are extremely loyal and close to him. So just another little piece of information that might suggest that Kip is not completely in the dark about this new movement that somehow just popped up after he was dethroned. But we talk so much more about some stuff in the live. Okay, join the live. Go look at it. Okay, we talk so much about these new developments. But anyway, guys, listen, don't join a cult. Don't join a cult. The Restored movement is still a cult. Nothing has changed. Go get some therapy if you are a part of this church. Get your autonomy back. These people don't own you. They don't have all the stake in God. They don't own all the stock in God. They do not determine where your soul goes. That's human worship. That's idolatry. Really look at their behaviors over the past months. This is a great time to take a step back and really observe their behaviors. Speaking of that, here is a YouTube video of Jason Dimitri just this past May, right after Kip was asked to retire. He is standing in front of all the staff telling them to stay strong. Everything's fine. God is still working. Where's your faith? Really taking these people to task, telling them not to question. God's still in control. ICC forever, baby. Right? I don't know if this video was supposed to be public because it's a staff meeting, but it's up there and it is public. And you can see I left the details in there. So if you want to check it out, go check it out. Look at what he was just saying a couple months ago. And now he's screaming that the church is corrupt. Things were not okay. And if you really want to follow Jesus, you might want to question your membership to this church that just a few months ago, he was telling people that they should stay faithful to the end. This is how cult leaders work. This is how cult leaders work. And you might be wondering, why did he change his tune so much? I have some theories that I throw out. Theories, my opinions, that I throw out in our live video. So go watch it. So, I just wanted to put this here. Use your critical thinking. Use your critical thinking. Don't join a cult. Just don't do it, okay? Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right, so that's it for me. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.